Okay, so if you don't know about Plunge.com, they recently were featured on the My First Million podcast. And the guys there were shocked because they basically interviewed the founders of Plunge, who revealed that they have grown $100 million e-commerce brand in literally 3 years. And they even revealed other numbers around their return on ad spend, like how much they're profiting from ads, how profitable the business is. Yeah, like this is very rare for people to actually, reveal these numbers. So it's just really interesting to see this case study. Like the cold plunge does sell. You can see their site is literally plunge.com. I think they bought that domain recently, but I mean, they are selling products for 5K plus. Um, so like the whole kind of business model is built on the fact that they can sell them for such a high margin, even though it's not really a repeat product. Like if you're going to buy a cold plunge, you're only going to buy one. Um, so you're going to have to sell it for a lot to make the financials work out. But their ad strategy is so interesting. So they actually did an interview and they said that they had 10x ROAS. They actually just hired a freelancer to help them with ads initially, and they couldn't believe the results they were getting. I'm going to get into how they actually achieved that success. I think now it's come down to like 7x ROAS, but I'm sure they don't care at all. They're making so much profit. Obviously, the ROAS is going to come down as you expand. You just expand your scope. You try to scale. You go broader. It's just going to come down and down over time. But that doesn't mean that their profit each and every year isn't just still going up and up and up. So it's really an amazing business. What they did and what was the kind of turning point for them. So they were kind of founded back in COVID. These two guys that founded it initially were involved in like float tanks, like med spa industry. So like flotation tanks is like it's kind of like you go in, it's like a sensory experience. It's meant to kind of I don't know what health benefits flotation tanks have, but it's kind of in that sphere. Everyone's heard about cold plunges now, ice baths, all the rage. They managed to get the OG ice bath man, Andrew Huberman, to take one of their cold plunges, and they said that was a pivotal moment um, as well for them. They also got the Aubrey Marcus, who's like one of the co-founders of On It Nutrition. He accepted a cold plunge, and they did this thing where they were like, "Okay, we're going to give you one, but we just want you to gift one to another influencer. Like it could be a friend." So they managed to like that kind of snowballed, and they ended up like delivering one to Tony Hawk as well. Obviously, this is in a time where it was during COVID. People are probably like stuck at home, kind of bored. So they kind of got lucky, but they created their own luck. I mean, they went and took like 100, 200 of these things and just drove around the place handing out free for free plunges. So pretty clever way to scale, and they got that social proof. They got great imagery. Amazing. This is some of their like ad numbers breakdowns. So you can see like I think their Google ROAS has gone down to like 6, but still insanely profitable. And I'm sure they've deliberate. I mean, they'll have seen that coming down and down, but they won't care. That's just what happens when you scale. Facebook ROAS is even better though. So it's just incredible, and they have a lot of cool ad types. So we're just going to go through a few of them. So this is definitely for like a cold audience. Like this one's quite, well polished. It's not user generated content. It's like well designed step into modern recovery. Like I really like this. You got the dog there. You got the beautiful garden. It's just the whole the guy with the rippling six pack because the whole deal. This one, yeah, I feel fucking amazing. It's kind of going off the whole thing. I'm like, God, cold plunges are supposed to make you feel so great and you feel happy, and it's kind of getting into that emotion side of things. So again, I love that one. These are just static images. Static images can work incredibly well. They do have a variety. This one's a lot more simplistic. So this is for hitting up a retargeting audience. So, people who have already explored the site, maybe they've clicked around, engaged with the product, but they haven't yet bought. And this is just simply like, listen, 30 ice baths, if you're buying ice from the store, filling up an ice bath, it's going to cost you, like, if you're doing this every day, it's going to cost you $300, $450 a month. Why don't you just use Plunge? And it's going to average at like a lot less. So it's not like kind of price anchoring. um, you know, and also it's going to be a much more enjoyable experience. This beautiful, like aesthetic thing, rather than just some like I don't know, big bin filled up with ice bags. So that was a great one. Here's another one. Um, this is just like using like a meme. Um, this one's still running for them, so this actually must work really well because you can see on Facebook ad library, you can see they've had multiple versions of this. I know, like you can see back, like this one just it says it started running on 26th of December. I know it's been running for longer than that though. So yeah, must be working well as well. And they're obviously just got a lot of varied creatives, which is really important on Meta just to feed the algorithm with all that variability. They want to have a lot of ads and keep changing stuff up. They do quite a lot of stuff on calling out like athletes. So this one's just like this doesn't even include any people. It's just pure text. Plunging equals winning, improved performance, enhanced recovery, and it's like the plunge is in the middle of this huge like football field with like cameras flashing, and it's like you are the star. This is your dream. This is where you can be. So I love that. I think it's really cool. And then they have another one down here, which is like I don't know who this person is, but I think they're an Olympian, apparently a two-time Olympian. And that's more of like a UGC, user generated content type video, TikTok kind of style. I don't know who this guy is either. I think this is just like a customer. But again, the same kind of style. Like this is like before and after, so he's showing his like old school plunge, and then later on he gets into his like new and improved plunge. And you can see on the ad library as well. They even have like now obviously they're a big company, so they got like Matthew Stafford of the Rams to like show some of his teammates. Like it's basically just a video of them sitting in the plunge tub, and they're like huge guys. They're like, wow, this actually fits me. Again, just like shot on an iPhone, like nothing fancy. The guy just like obviously walked in, shot on an iPhone, and that actually works really well. It's like less is more kind of. And then they have other ads that you can see now. These are obviously retargeting ads. Limited time offers, $750 off. They're not going to be showing these to customers who have no idea what plunge is about. These are going to be ads that are targeting, basically retargeting. Like, oh, I've looked at it. Oh, now it's like $750 off. Maybe I want to jump in. And it's like if you're shaving $750 off a product which is $5,000, again, the return on ad spend is still going to be, might go down from 10x to 9x. Like they don't care. So they can offer these huge discounts and still be wildly profitable. Yeah, just a little bit of background. Like they pivoted from float tank to cold plunges. They just kind of tested some product and they built it in one of the co-founders' garages. Um, and the initial sales they actually got through their float center customer base, and then they started doing the influencing marketer thing. They use Shopify for their operations. I think the most important thing here is just the profitability of this. Like, even though they're spending like $500 to acquire a customer, which sounds like a lot, because they're selling the product for such a high price point, they can afford it. And there's probably a lot of cold plunges in the market. They're like $500, $600. They're a lot cheaper, but they're less premium. I find, like the cost to acquire a customer for those brands it must be a little bit lower, but even if you're selling it for $500 and it still costs you $200 to acquire a customer, it's not very attractive when you factor in all the other costs of operation. So yeah, I love this. Great example of a high-end premium product. And if you can't, like I said, if you can't do repeat sales on a product like this, you have to sell it for a lot. So yeah, love this case study of how this company scaled. And this is a really unique case study because, yeah, like I said, they actually have shown their numbers and shown how they've succeeded. So yeah, really interesting just case study of an e-commerce Shopify store scaled to $100 million in 3 years with no backing or venture capital as well.